All right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, you want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakudash. That belongs to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to Allah Akim that is doing the work in sincerity and charity with humiliation all across the four winds. To you I salute. All right, today, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we got another beautiful lesson lineup. You know, well, you know the thing is prophecies.
God.
All right? God never get tired talking about that. You know, because the scriptures speak about that. Speak out in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. All right, and that's what we're gonna do. All right. So before we the brothers them, you know, they have some good lessons lined up. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it be edifying.
God.
All right, you take from it what you need. Okay, so we're gonna kick things off with World War III. All right, so today, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get into some current World War events. You know, as you know, you got this war going on between Russia and Ukraine. All right, then you got Taiwan and China, you know, going at it. All right, you also got these Edomite analysts telling you about what is going to happen or what is happening. All right, and you got mainstream media, you know, they don't know what's going on, but you know, you can get the true story, the 100% truth, unfiltered, raw, and cut from the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And also, you know, you got these Edomite analysts, you know, on YouTube, they telling you it too.
God.
All right? Now, they're telling you that from a world point of view, you know, hoping things that going to get better. You understand? But, you know, we're telling you that Ukraine is pretty much getting mashed up. You don't mind the stories out there saying that Russia getting beat bad. That is a lie.
God.
You understand? Because Ukraine getting damn stumped like a worm.
God.
That's it. You understand? But your mainstream media, you know, they're telling you a whole heap of shit. All right, as if, you know, it's true. You know, but guess what? They're telling you Russia this, Russia that, Ukraine do this, Ukraine do that. But guess what? Where's the proof? You understand? Because mainstream media is all they doing is they have a bunch of actors. You understand? And on top of that, they put up numbers. When you ask for the proof, they put up a bunch of numbers and call it proof. When you ask to show the dead bodies, all right, the destruction of those buildings, they can't do it.
God.
You understand? Because they're lying. You understand? But that's it. But like I tell you, Russia pretty much done set up shop over there in Ukraine.
Yeah, they flag us for misinformation. All them mainstream news sites supposed to be bad.
All right? Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. So guess what? By now, you know, Russia pretty much have full control, you know, of that place, whether you believe it or not. All right? Russia is controlling, basically that's, Ukraine is a part of Russian territory.
You know that.
All right? But what we're going to do, we're going to get into some precepts, you know, Lord willing, to be edifying. So let's get the book of Joel, chapter 3, and start at verse 9. All right? God.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 9, and it reads, Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up.
Right, read straight on 9 and 12, brother.
Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves round about. Thither, because thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you. Oh, Salak here. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about.
Right, and that's what you're gonna see. All right, we seeing prophecy being unfold right before our eyes. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is gathering the nations right now as we speak.
God.
You understand? He's doing it. All right, he's taking it one step at a time, piece by piece, moving the chess pieces into place. Okay? He's controlling the minds of these leaders and he's causing them, to make moves. Like I said earlier, you have these Edomite analysts, believe like some of these moves that they can't believe that some of these moves these world leaders making. They can't believe it. All right, but all that is being done to get these nations down into the valley of Yahweh Shabbat, which is the Most High judgment. All right, they can't believe that because, like I say, he's gonna allow those leaders to make these moves to lead them straight to their destruction.
God.
All right, so that's coming, man. But like I say, the Most High is pulling the strings on the minds, of these leaders. All right, to get them to do what he wants them to do, so that prophecy could be fulfilled. All right, why you think China going at Taiwan, Russia, Ukraine? All right, then you got Syria and Israel. All the pieces being put in place.
God.
All right, so that prophecy could be fulfilled. Yahweh Shem Yahushai says word ain't gonna come back to him void. And we believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, so whatever he says is gonna happen, it's gonna happen, and he's gonna gather these nations in the end.
God.
Habakkuk say what? At the end it shall speak and not lie, right?
God.
That's it. All right, and when that happens, he's gonna gather them all at once, and he's gonna breathe, out of his mouth, like the scriptures say. Okay? God. All right. What I mean, he's gonna breathe out of his mouth. He's gonna allow them chariots to shoot down them laser beams, man. All right. Yeah, man. All right. So, like I say, Russia and Ukraine situation is pretty much, a done deal. All right. Russia done pretty much stomp out Ukraine military. Okay, so all these people who believe it that that little Ukraine could beat a superpower like Russia, you got to be kidding me, man. All right, but hey, ain't no media reporting on that. See what I said? So what's happening? Russia is basically, dividing up the areas of the country, for themselves. All right, they're probably gonna either hold that as bargaining chips, for their own resources. All right, and because of that, all right, because of the energy crisis in Europe, all right, because of food, energy crisis, food, all right, food shortage in the world, all right, wheat, all right, the grain, and a good portion of those grain come from what? That come from 3 countries: Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. All right, and Belarus is an ally of Russia. You understand? All right, and not only that, you have a large portion of those fertilizers that come from that area that you need to grow your fruits and vegetables. All right, and with that being cut off, what? That's going to lead to famine.
God.
See what I said?
God.
Which without having a fertilizer, like I say, it's going to lead to famine.
God.
All right, then you get the gas line for Europe that comes from Russia. Russia could just turn that off and have that whole western section of Europe, have a cold winter, because they provide the energy that provide heat.
God.
See what I said? So the Most High set it up where Russia, got the trump card, over all these NATO-based countries, and this is probably gonna be, one of the main reasons why, these European nations are gonna eventually have to come together and agree and turn on Babylon. You understand that the scriptures say what? These shall hate the whore.
That's it.
Because of this. All right, the U.S. conflict can help those NATO-based countries. They ain't have no energy. Russia have the trump card.
You know that.
See what I said? Yeah, but which, like I say, the whore that sitteth on the beast. So that's why, they're going to be convinced eventually through the frustration and through these councils, all right, Russia is basically, going to be pulling the strings because they have the trump card, which is that energy,
Yeah.
fertilizer, food. Russia is a superpower by itself. You understand?
That's it.
All right? That Russia controls a lot of, what's going on over there in Europe. You mightn't believe that. All right? But it's going to be these nations that is going to turn and hate the whole. All right? They're going to eventually, like I say, turn on Babylon, a.k.a. America. All right? They're going to have to do that because, they don't want to die and be passed away. They don't want to be destroyed.
God.
All right? They don't want to perish.
So,
That's it, done. All right. So that's how you read prophecies. That's how you read the prophecies concerning Gog and Magog. That's how you know that the Most High is going to raise them up and have them on a level of power in these last days, according to prophecy.
think about it, they would have won the allies with Russia. Ain't none of them down with the US.
Can.
Ain't none of them down with the war. So they just needed a reason to ally with Russia.
Can. All right. Absolutely right, brother. And I speak about this a couple of weeks ago. You understand? So you got Russia and you got China that's going to link up along with these BRICS nations. See what I said? You got Saudi Arabia now, want to join this BRICS monetary system.
Yeah.
All right, Saudi Arabia is another country with a bunch of oil.
For edification's sake, when he made mention of BRICS, BRICS is a combination of countries that consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa.
Can.
That's what he we're referring to when we have the term BRICS.
Can. All right, so like I said, you got Saudi Arabia trying to join that monetary system, basically to go against the system that these NATO-based countries have, including the U.S. All right, that's why that was designed like that.
Yeah.
So all of these nations coming together piece by piece is going to turn and hate the heart and burn out with fire.
That's it.
See what I said? Which, go ahead.
Scripture tells who had part in that war. Which country the war didn't dabble in
That's it.
or place sanctions on. So, all these prophecies coming together and all these different countries rising up. The scripture say, made a weak say I am strong, eh?
Can.
All them rising up to come up against all they've been waiting on this moment as well. We've been waiting on this moment as well.
Done. They just is waiting for Russia to make that move.
Done.
Can.
You see? So that's all it is. They just waiting for Russia, to get out there so they can what? Back Russia.
That's it. All right. Yeah, man. So that whole system, that BRIC system, is set up to go against, this monetary system that you have here today, which the U.S., want to set up this new system, which that is going to be implemented in a very short order. All right. That B system. Go ahead, brother.
Just like how we came across the article that made mention that Russia and I think it was India started trading within their own currencies. They no longer use the USD as their base currency.
Done.
So now the ruble and the rupee are now interchangeable.
Done.
And slowly but surely you will have the yuan, which is the Chinese currency, also interchangeable with the ruble and also interchangeable with the rupee. You see? So you slowly start to see whereas they doing away with the USD. And I follow the markets, right? And the price action of all USD currencies are plummeted.
Done.
Like crazy plummeted.
Right.
That's how come you see so much panic in the US now when it comes down to the markets.
God, the dollar being weakened.
God.
Because these countries moving away from this damn system.
God.
All right, 'cause all Esau are doing is robbing people anyhow, which we can get that, in a little bit.
And you know what's so interesting about it? From the whole Russian-Ukraine thing happened, you no longer could trade the U.S. currency with the ruble. And the U.S. thought they were going to be doing a disservice to Russia when they do it, when in actuality all they did was strengthen Russia's
That's it.
alliances.
That's it.
God.
Or we speak about that a couple of months back as well.
God.
Because the ruble now being pegged with the
Gold.
right with the petrodollar. All right. Now let's get Obadiah 1 and 7.
You can do nothing against the truth.
That's it. God.
The book of this is the book of Obadiah, 27. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. That they eat thy bread have laid a wound. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Right. So all these are confederate with thee is going to turn against thee. You understand? All right, because remember now, Russia done pretty much stumbled Ukraine. All right, Russia have the trump card in his hand as far as the grain, energy, oil, gas. You understand? And those nations need that. See it? Can.
Natural gas supplies to Europe.
That's it.
The North one.
Can. Russia ever say what's happening in Europe? You understand? And Russia is going to use that. Can. That's why the scriptures, they read that again, all these that are confederate against thee.
All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. That they eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Can. So again, all these that are confederate with thee is going to turn against you.
Edomite versus Edomite.
That's it. Self-destruction.
That's it.
That's it. You understand? So all these nations going to come together and they're going to burn up with fire. All right? And what they can do, they can damn take you up out of the land. All right? Yeah, man, they're going to... They're basically going to run Esau and stake it out of Europe.
And you know what's
All right?
so,
Go ahead, brother.
you know what's so interesting about it? And the U.S. using the narrative of, how they have the water shortage and energy shortage, right? They using that narrative to basically paint a picture to their people that Russia caused all of this.
That's it.
You see?
Russia ain't causing shit.
And when actually the U.S. brought it upon themselves, they had this coming for years now.
Yeah, man. God, so all the men that are confederate against thee, it's going to turn against you. That said Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And guess what? These so-called white people, that's in these other lands, all right, the people of those lands is going to damn chase you and run your stinking ass out of their country. You understand? And we get the prophecy to prove it. All right? That's because Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to put the spirit on those people to do that. That's it.
So they trying to call more so-called white people now? They classifying them as white people?
Well, Moab think he's going to rule next. That's why the scripture in Ezra say, woe unto thee, Babylon, woe unto thee, Asia. All right, let's get Isaiah 13 and 13. Let's read 13 and 14. All right.
The book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 14. The book of Isaiah 13 and 13. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Read.
And it shall be as the cast rope, and as a sheep that no man take it up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land.
Right, so the Most High set up to where these nations has to go their own way. All right, so when that time comes, all right, this country being so-called a demographic, the demographic of this country being black, so-called white man got to get run out of here. You understand?
Right?
Yeah. You can get run out of here, so all them damn big so-called nice homes and things you see in Lightfoot Key and all of them, they can be empty, they are. All right, because Obadiah speak about that as well. All right? Yeah, man, these nations, you know these nations, they tired of this damn devil. They sick and tired of him, boy. You know, and they tired of his dollar. These nations basically pulling away from the dollar, like what the brothers going into earlier. Right now, the dollar is very strong, but it's also very deceptive. See what I said? It's a deceptive thing because the dollar actually, you know, gets stronger, you know, since this war happened, Russia-Ukraine. But guess what? The Russian currency has also got stronger as well. All right? And then on top of that, like the brother mentioned, Russia is also stocking up that gold. The US dollar is backed by 10 L. See what I said? But the Russian ruble is also backed by gold. See what I said? All right? And they're trying to make all these other countries, you know, back up their valuables in their currency. When they flick in, as far as when they go to do trade.
Buying their currency.
Right.
Buying gold.
Right. And also, based off their natural resources, which is something, you know, the West don't want. Because now, guess what? When you come with your dollar, okay, your dollar ain't good enough. See what I say? Now to be backed by your natural resources. To have some value.
Which the way how trade was done in the past.
That's it.
That's how it was.
You understand? So with the dollar they giving you a damn stinking rotten paper for nothing.
The reason I have value is because they said it had value.
That's it.
We know how that devil go. Very deceptive.
Yeah, boy. So NATO and all these European countries, they don't damn produce nothing anyhow. See what I said? They don't produce nothing but damn debt. I telling you, when you go in there, yeah, boy, they don't produce nothing but debt with their damn banking system, you know? So Russia could basically turn Europe into a third world country overnight. You see what I'm saying? Just by cutting off the gas supply. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for their media to push Ukraine flicking beating Russia, but that's a bunch of shit, boy. You know?
Russia get the power.
That's it. Russia get all the power. Russia's a superpower. Let's jump to chapter Isaiah 14 and 10, brother.
Look at Isaiah chapter 14 and 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Right. So all these nations is going to say to Babylon, man, you ain't really as strong as you think you is. See what I said? Right. Because like I say, China is rising up in power. Russia been rising up in power. All right. Then you got these other countries rising up in power. You got Iran. And they're looking at America like, you ain't the bully on the block no more.
God.
You ain't run shit no more.
You know that.
See all that shit Iran talking? That's it. All right. You weak, and you ain't strong no more, boy. All right. So they're getting ready to basically come together and take Babylon down. All right. So once, go ahead, brother. Yeah, they think Trump can save them. Yeah. So once you don't have that fear no more, God. So once you don't have that fear no more, you ready to do anything. See what I'm saying? And basically these nations, they're gonna put their money on the table behind Russia. You understand? Because now Russia is the new superpower on the block.
Get on the block.
New kid on the block. Done. The scripture tell you that in Ezekiel 39. Like this week, I saw in the news, they just reported that Turkey, which is also, a NATO country, which is actually separating, which they actually separate itself from NATO. You understand? And they joined Russia. That's prophecy.
Yeah.
We going into that the other day. You understand? And then on top of that, Turkey just gets some S-300 and S-400 from Russia, which is basically a defense missile system. So they ready. What do you think they for? You understand? For what? All right. So these countries pulling back more and more from NATO just by dealing with Russia. And like I stated earlier, Saudi Arabia, they pulling away from America and they're dealing with Russia right now. All right. And there's multiple articles on that. All right, about how the partnership, is getting higher and higher and better between Russia and Saudi Arabia. See what I'm saying? They also rolling with the one who damn got the power and the strength.
Yeah.
And the one who got the power and the strength right now is who? Russia. All right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So they're using this opportunity, to get away from Babylon because they see the shit with Babylon doing.
Done. To lock right, and that too with these other countries with joining Russia, they know that Russia is gonna be a guard unto them.
That's it.
Because Putin done say he reach out to these countries, stating they basically need him in so much words, okay, that he's there. All right. So and the scriptures also prophesy about that Russia is gonna be a guard unto them.
Done. All right, and then they also see in Russia being backed by China. All right. And China is strong enough, Russia and China, and then basically them two right there strong enough, to deal. All right. Yeah, Salakia. Yeah, man. All right. So, like I was saying, you have Russia and China, strong enough, to basically do business together and bring in these other nations, and not have to pretty much deal with Europe no more. And none of these NATO-based countries, and guess what? That's scaring a lot of these leaders because they're seeing that they're losing out. You understand? Because remember now, America over in the West, they can't do nothing with those damn gas line and shit. No. The only one who have the power to deal with that is Russia. All right, because Russia produce oil and gas and all these different materials.
God. For the European territory should come Russia.
That's it.
No, because the Europe side, Europe is allies with the U.S. and the U.S. holding on the other side of the world. And
that's it.
And your so-called enemy right next door to you.
That's it. That's what they're looking at, and they can look at, man, we catching hell, suffering.
While you over there.
Right, while you over there living deliciously. What the hell with you, boy?
Yep.
All right, and this is going to happen. Let's get Habakkuk 2 and 3.
When you look at it, your enemy could ride up on you at any time.
That's it.
It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
Right, so like I say, when we first opened up, Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he was going to gather the nations in the land of Jehoshaphat. All right, that's the land of Yahweh's judgment. All right, and that's going to happen, but in a particular time. You see, a particular time in prophecy. All right, that's when that's going to happen. But the Most High Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua, he's building it up to that certain time. Okay, so that's what Habakkuk is speaking about. So he's saying, man, just wait on it. You're going to see it. It's going to happen. Right? Jump down to verse 6, brother.
Got
From 6 to 8.
Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laded himself with thick clay.
Right. Thick clay going into heavy debt. All right.
Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them?
Read.
Spoiled. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for violence of the land of the city, and all that dwell therein.
Right, it says, woe to him that increaseth which is not his. All right, so he's damn greedy. This devil is greedy. Speaking about Babylon, you know, Babylon and Esau was hand in hand. All right, he keep taking and taking and taking away from these other nations. Okay, it says, though thou hast spoiled many nations, right? And now they're gonna come up against you because of man's blood. All right, that you shed. All right, so what will you do? You drop bombs, right? Over there in Japan. Can't forget about that. You know that? Okay, you drop bombs everywhere. You poisoning people through your damn right. That jump shot.
You started all the wars.
Right. You are weaponizing mosquitoes now. You understand? You can't forget about that. You know, you give people cancer, autism, all these different shit. You understand? SARS. You know? Yeah, boy. You know, you damn just destroying people, having people to be refugees all over the world because of all your damn wars.
God.
That's it. So the table is going to turn on this damn devil.
God.
All right, so after all he has taken, he still want more.
His eyes are selling.
That's it. Right?
Those will get small pox in the blanket.
That's it. All right. John, we prophesying against this devil. See one here coming, driving past now. God. All right. Yeah, Esau.
Hey, the thing about it with them, they you know, they're proud. They are proud, low-based men.
That's
you
it.
know? And anything what they do, anytime you see they kill a whole lot of people, they boast about it. You see, they talk about it amongst themselves. Okay? Because I heard a conversation between two of them. They boasting and bragging about it. How much of this people they take out. You know?
These damn niggers. These darkies.
You know? You talking about all kind of stuff, man, you know? Some things with my ears hurt.
What? Yeah, boy. Esau's a pure devil, boy. You know? That's why we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait on our Lord that he rise up to the break.
God.
You know?
What Babylon used the dollar to take advantage of many nations, and what the bears doing now is just turning that favor. The bears using energy sources now to take back these nations. So as soon as this dollar seemed to drop to its minimum, that's when this WW3 can take off.
That's it. That's when he can damn self-destruct. That's what it is. The nation, Esau against Esau, Yahushua said what? A house divided against itself cannot stand.
God.
So he's going to self-destruct.
That's it.
Egyptian against Egyptian.
Right.
So as soon as this USD really get to that point where it can't hold anymore, That's WWE right there.
Can't
That's it.
But you see,
Gotta come over first.
you see how Esau doing it now. They trying to hurry up, get up the CBDC. You see? So that's the whole game right there.
God.
Is to get that up and running and bring that forward.
So USD with the model.
So, right.
And the only way you can access your CBDC is if you have a certain wallet, a digital wallet, which is also attached to something we're getting inside your hand.
You know that.
God.
I know how people think it is.
Right. But through all of this, Esau still want more, man. All of this shit he got.
God.
He got the earth in its fullness.
God.
He still want more. He want you.
You know? It's a lot. I remember when our commercial on TV with Esau, he was on the bridge. I don't know if you all have seen that before. He was on the bridge with a whole lot of fishing rods, lying right off. And he was like that, and all he said, he wanted all.
Yeah, boy.
You know?
You trying to get all in one time.
He wanted all.
That's it. All right, let's get that Obadiah 1:5.
It's Obadiah 1 and 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. But Esau damn carrying the grape of the damn ground. He ain't only cleaning the tree. The grape would damn drop on the ground. He carrying them too.
You know that?
That's what his father did.
That's it.
King,
That's it. You understand? All right, so the grape would fall off the vine on the ground. He carry them too. And if the robber come to rob your house, the robber ain't gonna carry everything. But guess what? Esau can damn take up the rug off the floor. That's it.
You know that?
You take everything out the house. All right. So if this book ain't damn speaking about Esau or Edom, I don't know who it's speaking about.
God.
Ultimately, Esau knows anyway.
Yep. God.
Hey,
All right.
if this devil could steal the breeze from the fan, he'll do that.
Well, he
Don't
can't.
forget they're selling there in China.
Man, he
They had
can't
cans there,
define.
boy. Yes, but they had something called ocean breeze. When you crack it open, it's like fresh air, boy.
No, man.
Yes, boy. Search it.
Yeah, boy. All right.
Tell you.
So when you see these leaders in these other nations who trade with Esau, Esau always find a way to get more out of them. Because why? He always about more.
God.
See what I said? He feels like he should be getting more. All right? And they see in these nations, they see in their trade deficit in their country devaluing against the dollar. And they're like, yeah, man, we ain't getting shit. We ain't getting nothing. You understand? This nigga damn getting all our shit.
God.
All of these resources. But you know, Esau go. All right? These trade people, these Edomites businessmen, you know, when they go into these countries and they get they get a supply of their pedophilia. You understand? And then they get an area in the country where they could do that shit. This is what they bargaining for too. You know?
You know that?
Then when they sort that out, then they go after your resources. See what I said? And then the money will come. All right? Okay? Then the money will come what they make of, you know, their natural resources or other forms of trade. All right? So, looking at these nations looking at their value, their currency, you know, they're like, man, my shit going down. I ain't getting nothing. But then Esau's shit keep getting larger and larger. All right? So now they come with, you know, Esau they come with these different contracts and shit. You know? You know, and that's how they're able to pretty much, you know, steal, you know, from these nations.
God.
All right? All right, because they do it,
Hey, it's a lot, right? They added that too. How you say they come with their contracts and stuff like that, right? This devil always have a way of inputting something in there to trip you up.
that's it.
The clause, right? And have a lot of fine prints.
Right, and that's how he operates, and that's
Wicked dealers.
right. All right. Yeah, man. Like I say, man, with these contracts, they do it based on their dollar, because that is known as what? A reserve currency. So what happens when you make these dollar? What happens when you make these dollar-based contracts? As you doing business, in these other countries for Esau, with your dollar or with your value currency, that goes basically to what is known as inflation against the dollar. See what I'm saying? So now you actually giving up more. All right, you actually giving up more just to make up, for that contract value. See what I'm saying? Of what you signed up for. That's why it becomes a form of theft.
That's
All right, Salak, right? That's like how the brothers say they come with all these different fine lines and shit. You ain't trying to read through all of that. You just can sign. See what I said?
Yeah.
Knowing full well you got this hidden fee, that hidden fee, the next hidden fee. By the time you ready, man, your shit way up there. You know that?
You actually paying more.
That's
you
it.
actually losing than
Bye.
gaining.
Bye.
That's like with bonds, right? If you make a bond when you come down to like buying bonds and such, right? If you say you want to buy 50 shirts at $1 per 50 shirts, right? If the price of the textile, if you sign that bond, if the price of those things start to go up, you still have to spend. You still only can make that $50. You still only get the 50 shirts for $1. So that's how the U.S. works. If the price of the dollar starts to decrease, they ain't losing. If it starts to increase, they still winning.
That's it.
You see? So they don't never take a loss.
Right, and that's how they do these contracts based on the dollar value. Bang.
God by the sea.
Bang.
That's it.
All right, and these countries, through their great trade deficit, that be hurting them.
God.
You understand? That be hurting them like shit.
Killing them.
So now they gotta go and seek out another trade partner to do better, economically.
God.
And that's how they choosing China and Russia, and these BRICS nations. You understand?
God.
Then you have what's called the Benton's Road Initiative, which is the new Silk Road, right? Dealing with trade with China, all right? And how they all connected with these different countries, and that's an economic system that's set up to detach itself from, the West. See what I saying? So this devil, he can't stop himself from damn stealing. And these other nations fed up with that. That's why, you see what I saying? That's why they moving away from the dollar.
God.
See what I saying? Yeah, but they tired of that shit.
God.
See what I saying? And they seeing it. Why you think now Saudi Arabia want to join the BRICS? All right? It's a lot, right? And as time go on, you can see more nations reaching out to them.
God.
But there's something Jake's been dealing with for years.
God.
Other countries just seeing it.
You know that? Yeah.
God.
When it's happening, I see nobody I should say.
It's a lot.
That's it.
The Indians, the so-called Indians, right? They hate that devil with a passion as well.
God.
Okay? But they show it in their movies. All right? If you watch those some of those Hindu movies, you will see they hate those devils, boy. Just like we hate them.
That's it. God.
Shit, Europeans hate American stuff.
That's it. All right. Someone to bring Isaiah 33 and 1. Yes, something, brother. Isaiah 33 and 1.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou willst not spoil, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Right. So when these Edomites is starting to see that the table is turning on them, they're going to come and negotiate.
God.
You see what I said? They've been dealing treacherously with you all that time. Now the table's turning. Now you won't come to negotiate to try and set things right. Nobody. You know, they're going to come to negotiate and try to set a deal in your favor. Nobody. But it ain't going to be no more deal. It's going to be time for war.
God. Hey, you know the scriptures, they never trust an enemy.
That's it.
Because even though he coming back to try and set a deal, make it sound dead sweet,
God.
but he's still trying to rip you.
That's
He
it.
humble himself.
You know?
God. You got to preach that, brother?
No, not yet. No, I was going to say then when they want a deal, the USD can be dropped, and these fellas who they already robbed so long, they can be powerful and mighty.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's why I said they can be ready for war. See what I said? And then they're going to turn on them to the Most High. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has allowed Russia to set up the demise and the downfall of the nation of Edom. Basically self-destruct. He's going to do that using the Edomites.
God.
We seeing that.
Exactly.
See what I said? So that's why, Salakia, right? So that's why at the end of the day, Russia has to be the last empire according to prophecy when Yahushai comes back. Because when Babylon falls with this destruction, the superpower that's going to be viewed as the legit one is going to be Russia. Because they're the ones spearheading the fall against NATO. See what I'm saying?
God.
Because they're in the front lines in Europe against NATO. But Yahushai is going to take down all of these nations, you know, when he comes. The scriptures say what he's King of Kings and Lord of Lords.
God.
All right? You got to preach that, brother?
Yeah. So this is the book of Psalm chapter 55, verse 19 through 21. Okay, God shall hear and afflict them, even he that abideth of old. Okay? Because they have no change. They have no changes. Therefore, they fear not God. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Done. All right, so when he come to make that deal, it can be too late. You understand? Because that time was already past. Talking smooth and making them good deals in your favor and thing. And you understand? Because Esau's a good talker now. You know that? Don't get me wrong. Esau will talk you. He love you doing some shit. If you don't if you ain't shit. Yeah.
Words are smoother than butter.
Yeah, what?
You ain't conscious?
You ain't conscious? What? Well, Esau love you out there doing a bunch of shit, boy. All right.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34 and 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it.
Read.
For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them, he had delivered them to the slaughter.
Right. So like I say, according to Joel chapter 3, Yahushua Yahushua is going to gather all these nations and then he is going to destroy them. So Joel and Isaiah had the same prophecy. See what I said? Speaking on the same thing. They on the same page. You know, they speaking about prophecy like Habakkuk said. Right at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. So all you got to do is wait. So these nations is going to be gathered into one area and then they're going to be judged. All right? That's how the Lord is going to destroy them. All right? He said he's going to destroy their armies. Where do you think their armies is going to meet? In the valley of Jehoshaphat.
God.
See what I said? And he said he ain't going to use no weapons. He's going to use the breath of his mouth. All right? The breath of his mouth is what? Those laser beams that come out, those chariots, you may know them as UFOs. You understand? And once the smoke clears, it's going to be nothing but a damn pile of ashes and dust. And smell of smoke.
Yeah.
See what I said? So, guess what? All of them damn turkey vultures, them buzzards, You're damn right, because they can be eating cooked meat. You understand? That's it.
So if you never see a full buzzard, you'll see one on that day.
They, I telling you what, they're gonna be eating buffet style, but everything cooked.
You know that?
You know, some of them gonna be medium rare, some of them be rare, some of them gonna be damn crispy.
Well done.
Well done.
You know that?
Buffet style, and that's the power right there. You know that what we serve, man. That's
Look
the,
at it flying no more. Everything right there.
that's it. Eat the belly full straight through.
It's true.
You know, and that's the power. You know, everybody's gonna be up under. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue is gonna confess. So, I don't care who you is. I don't care what or who you believe in. You're gonna bow down to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care how much power you think you got. You're gonna bow down in the presence of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Thus said the Bible. All right. So yeah, my Lord willing, I hope that was edifying and it served its purpose. All right. You got it, brother.
Done. All right, Shalom. All right, that's a beautiful lesson that brother brought out. You know? All right. So yeah, man. Last week we hit WEF pushes the CHIP. Okay, so now we can get into digital transformation. Okay, this is the article we're gonna get into. All right, which was produced by one of the leading newspaper outlet. Okay, over here in the Bahamas. All right, Eyewitness News. Okay, now we can just go through that briefly. Okay, Lord will be edifying. All right. Read the first paragraph.
It says, digital transformation. Clearing Banks president says industry must continue digital push.
Good. All right, so you see now, last week you had the WEF pushes the CHIP. Okay. Now, you're hearing over here in the Bahamas, they're basically pushing the same thing as well. Okay? But they're saying it's digital. Okay? All right, read on.
It says the Clearing Banks Association yesterday noted that the financial services sector is undergoing a significant digital transformation, which has been accelerated by Crown Royal 19 pandemic and the emergence of fintech, adding that the industry must continue to introduce new electronic and digital channels to meet the needs of their customers.
Good. You see that? You are the last part say to meet the needs of its customers. Okay, so it's all about convenience for those people now. Okay.
Right.
So when you look at the Crown Royal, okay, and the lockdowns that have been happening, okay, that we basically made a way or made a big push for them to bring this digital transformation.
God.
Okay.
Yeah, because you had a lot of different businesses open up, on a digital platform pretty much.
Okay.
You could be home and damn order this, order that, whatever, and you in the comfort of your home.
Done.
You ain't gotta leave the house.
You know that. Okay. And RKM do lessons on this over and over. Okay. So as new information come out, we just take those new information and bring them out so that you will be edified and know what's going on. Okay. So it's all just a trial and a test, just to see how the MOTB would turn out to be, which we know that is coming.
God.
Okay, it's all about convenience. You see, as the last, read the last part, the last line.
It says, adding that The industry must continue to introduce new electronic and digital channels to meet the needs of their customers.
You see, to meet the needs of their customers. As the Ark said a little earlier, that during the lockdown, you have a lot of businesses open, okay, and they basically was being digital, where you could order online and have your whatever delivered straight to you, straight to your house, to your door, okay. Over here in the Bahamas, we had a food app, okay, named Craven, okay, that take off when the first open, okay, to your home, to your comfort of your home. You could sit down, lay back, in your shower you could order something or not, okay, being it more convenient for the people, okay, and don't think that Esau don't notice.
Yeah.
This is all Esau agenda, okay. So the people then reacted to it, and they say, you know what, this is what we want. So how you think they can react when the MOTB being fully implemented? They can take joy in receiving that.
Yeah. All right, if I could say this too, right? John, if I could say this too, right? You just said Joe Biden is not at all over there in Babylon, you know, with this executive order, you know, 14067, you know, and that's going to change up pretty much everything.
Yeah.
You know, and according to that, which we speak on this a little while back, you know, that they was going to run a test, you know, and by December they was going to start implementing this. So they saying by, you know, December 13, someplace around there, you know, that the cash in your wallet, it ain't going to be no use to you.
Right.
So if you ain't on this digital platform, on this beast system, that money in your pocket, you can't spend that.
You can't spend it exactly.
See what I'm saying? So you're going to need to be looped in. All right, as a matter of fact, all right, even I take it as far as the money in your bank account. If you ain't looped in to that system, you can't access that.
Can't.
That is of no value.
Right.
And this is where we heading.
Can't.
All right, one global currency.
That's it. You know, so for our people, you jakes out there who claim to have something, okay? If you ain't in the loop, you have but what, 100, 200,000 in your bank account? You think you got something?
You want to access that? You want to spend that? Then stretch your hand out.
You know?
Either your right hand or your left hand.
And you know, Jake, what, their money? Well, they can take that. Okay? So the need of a push of digital is because this devil knows as well that he have but a short time.
Yeah.
Okay? You get the precept we talked about, brother. Revelation 12 and 12. Okay? He knows but he have but a short time. Okay? He wants to be in control, as we brought out last week, showing you about Schwab's clause, okay, and their agenda. Okay? So this is being pushed, not just over here, but all over the world. Okay? All over the world this is being pushed. Okay, you can go and Google it. Okay, Google this country, that country, and our CBDCs. Okay, how many countries are heading for CBDCs? Then you will see. Okay, digital. Over there in Yard in Jamaica, they already have their digital dollar, which is the GemX. And we have the Sand dollar. Okay, you know. I'll build up
Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time.
God, he knows he have but a short time. So he's going to come down like this. Okay, he's going to push this. Okay, you think Santa Claus them were just sitting up just thinking about it? At least they're ready to devise this thing around their round table. Okay, so now they into pushing this thing now. Okay, and the people them, all right, they ain't following. Okay, they all but partying, drinking, getting drunk, committing adultery.
They outside.
You know? All right? Like we say, you're outside looking in, but they outside, they ain't checking. Okay? This devil, okay, right now, as the scriptures say, okay, the earth is given into their hands.
Outside with Esau eating away at the insides.
You know? All right? For the second paragraph.
Okay, the second paragraph in the article it reads, Roger Archer, president of the Bankers Association, said the financial services sector is undergoing a significant digital transformation, presenting financial institutions with the choice of pivoting to meet and anticipate customer needs or taking the risk of falling behind.
Can you see that? So you remember last week I mentioned infrastructure, right? So what they say, significant digital transformation to pivot, which means to turn. Okay? So as the world is heading to so as the world is heading digital, okay, they basically have to turn where the world going. Okay, or what? Get left behind, that's what they're saying. Okay? So just how this person who's speaking in this article, okay, the leader of the banking association or something like that. Okay.
President of the Bankers Association.
President, right? He's saying, look, we got to jump on this thing now while this thing happening. Okay? To make it more convenient for us and for our customers.
Inflation ain't going nowhere.
You see what he's saying? Okay? So he basically telling everybody, look, jump on this wagon now. Okay? Because Esau already have everything done set up. Esau come and bring in Crown Royal, lock down the whole place. Okay? Put the idea in people's minds and their thoughts and say, look here, everything is online, so let me go online. You see? So now what you think people do? The consumers, okay, the merchandisers, they're putting everything online. And make it more, convenient for you. You see? So now, the time is coming where it's going to lead to you getting powers. When you receive that thing in your hand, you just like how they have the car tap and go. You can be wave and go. You see, you ever watch the commercial with the Amazon Go store? You go in the food store, you pick up whatever you want, and you just walk right out. The whole thing then scan you. You see?
You think they're gonna give incentive to Jakes to take this digital wallet?
What do you mean? That come in top up, but
You know, right?
You think they're gonna give us a digital 1,000?
that come in top up, boy. What?
That come on top of just like how they did with the Gemex.
Yeah, with the 19.
You see, they did that in Jamaica, the first 300.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
What's his value, eh?
You see? So definitely, these so-called behemoths, they can do that. Because behemoths, they love following other countries.
They like dance.
And they, right. Anything new,
They want it.
they want.
Dance.
You see?
Yeah, Miami.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami.
Again, Florida. You know?
Like we gotta start off, it all goes back to convenience.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know? They get their new toy in their hand.
The new brownie.
You know? Why you gotta get in Florida to try this out?
Getting these things, not knowing y'all shy coming anyhow.
You know?
Mind you, they know y'all shy coming. They just don't care.
You see?
That's it.
So with all this stuff happening, you know? So with all this stuff happening, this is happening all over the world. Everybody trusting in this devil. Okay, that's Psalms 37 and 7.
Psalm 37, verse 7. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Hurt not thyself because of him who Pharaoh prospered in his way because of man who bring wicked devices to pass.
God. And is he not prospering in these wicked devices? He's making a whole ton of money. Okay? And on top of that, his agenda or his plans is coming just the way how he wanted.
Yeah.
So don't think that when he bring Crown Royal, when he causes it to be locked down, when he bring all these different variants, okay, all them done by this devil, okay, just to see how the program is gonna run, okay. The main program is the MOTV, okay. So you know when they get together, they say, "Oh, everything is going as planned, everything going smooth." All right. We thought that they would put up a whole great amount of resistance, but obviously we did better than we think. That's what they can be think. That's what go in their heads.
And that's the same thing with Columbus before when he came over here. And sorry, and this man that he Detroit.
You know?
Yeah, no weapons. They are peaceful people.
Yeah.
For the 200 men, we can take over all of them.
Take over.
I should tell you, war was in his. He come peaceably, but war in his heart.
Yeah. Same thing.
The brother posted precept, Isaiah 36 and 6. Lo, thou trusted in the staff of his broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt to all that trust in him.
John?
No matter how you put your faith in yourself, you ain't nothing coming out of it.
Damn right.
All the trust in him.
And our people love Jesus so much.
Precept for these days, we put all our faith in yourself. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 37. He said, "For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry."
God.
So no matter how you put your faith in yourself and get these digital this and these devices, Yahweh Shai is going to still come.
That's it? All right. All right, buddy. Read that third paragraph. Yeah.
He's back in the article.
All right.
Back in the article, it reads, he further explained, yes, it says, he continued, customers globally and locally continue to seek out faster and more flexible solutions to simplify their day-to-day banking needs, from easy payment channels to the ability to access financing quickly.
God, you see that? Easy payment channels so that people can access their banking financials easy or quickly. Okay? So now when you hear about easy payment channels, okay, think about the CHIP. Okay, that is a channel as well. You have like the credit card, debit card, okay, online, okay, there's different channels of payment.
God.
See?
Well, I can say this too, right? You know, when they first roll out, no, not the credit card, digital sand dollar over there in Abaco, this was after Dorian.
Right.
You know, so people would be able to still have access to their funds, even though they ain't online. They still can make transactions, all of that, you know.
Good.
And then also, with over there in Freeport, you know, when they had all that flooding, so a lot of people, medical records and shit, you know, got damaged. You see, so they can move that from, you know, having that hard copy into a digital platform as well.
God.
You know, so this way is headed, man.
That's it.
According to Revelation 13 and 16.
God.
That's why you see a lot of these different government agencies, they convert to digital platform.
Yeah.
You see, like, they have something called My Gateway. It
Right.
have all kind of different departments on it. Everything online, you know what I mean? Everything online.
And you know what's so interesting? With those same online platforms, when they present it to the people, they present it to the people as though you would have control over, doing yourself, particularly click to clear. They sold it to the people as you could do your own paperwork. You have sole control over, what you submit. But when it was implemented, that's when they throw that curveball in. You can't do your own paperwork. You have to get a broker.
You're right.
When in times past, you could have been your own broker.
Right.
They made it so you have to get a broker. And on top of that, in order for you to become a broker, you have to do a class. And if you don't pass the class, you can't become a broker. So now, the thing is, if they don't want you to pass the class, you ain't gonna pass the class.
Right, man. You've been doing your broker yourself all
Yourself all
along.
the time. You
That's
see?
it.
And everything about that system is automated. You have to submit, your ID. You have to submit. If you have to get a broker, and you have to sign a form to say, okay, this broker get permission to do my stuff, right? You have to submit a passport sometimes. There ain't no confidentiality when it comes down to you getting your stuff. Because now, in times past, when you got to order your stuff and deal with it yourself, when you got to go to that broker, you got everything what you bring, that broker know you bring.
Right.
Yeah, and the government, during the same time when they implemented Click to Clear, they created a whole ministry just dealing with digital services.
Gone. That's it. That's it. You see? So, we ain't ignorant of this devices, of Satan devices. Okay? We ain't ignorant. We know all this stuff is going to happen. And we know where it's going to lead to. As the brother stated earlier, with dealing with our Freeport, okay, with the medical records, okay, all this stuff is going to store right on this chip, okay, everything about you, and this will give this devil total control and power over you, okay. The fourth paragraph. Yeah, the fourth paragraph.
Okay, it reads, it says, they are also using branches differently and less frequently as they turn to online, mobile, and ATM channels to conduct more financial transactions. It says, Archer remarked that to meet the evolving needs of their customers, financial services companies are simplifying their processes and streamlining their operations while providing innovative and insight-driven solutions.
God, so you see, everything is being set up and will ultimately lead to the CHIP. Okay, because that's where everything is heading. Okay.
Right now, we could read, and I think what is that last line in the third paragraph.
The last
Sentence.
It says from easy payment channels to ability to access financing quickly.
Right. All right. I seen this commercial a little while back. Where they got like pretty much all these banks just, like closing their doors, and they getting rid of like, these ATM, like not the ATM, but the tellers who work in the banks. All right, because now, people could do their transactions, everything online.
Done.
You
Done.
see?
And that's what they've been pushing that about 2 years, 3 years now.
No, but longer than that.
Longer than that.
Yeah, but you got 7, 8 years, but remember that.
Done.
That's
Yeah.
spiritual because it's lucky up. And saying what you made mention, in times past when you go inside the bank and something ain't right with your account, you could talk to the teller right then and there, and get an answer person to person. Or if you leave that teller and then you realize wait something going awry, you could point out that teller who did it. But now when it comes down to you doing it digitally, you have no idea who handling your funds.
Right.
You see,
Yeah.
you have no idea who have access to your funds, and when you sign up to their portal, who's to say they can't just press a button right then and there and wipe out your account?
Done.
And then say it's because of fraudulent activity.
You have online chatting thing.
That's it.
I'm online chatting with
John, you could be any part of the world and still access that.
Done.
Just need to be online.
That's it. You see, so everything would tie right back to the Internet of Things, or the Internet of Bodies. Okay. I remember a few years back for true, there was basically getting you to use the machine more and online banking more. You see?
Right. Because, man, at one point they used to charge, you know, for having that service. Now they giving that to you
They
for
give
free.
you that free, right?
That was illegal for them to charge you for that.
See? So you have one of the popular banks over here, which is Royal Bank. Okay, they basically close out all around the Bahamas. Scotia Bank.
There will be no bank on this island.
They a lot of them consolidate, them banks consolidating one.
You know, over there in Nassau, all right, they basically want the people them to use the ATMs and online banking. You see, basically preparing you so that when that time comes, you will be used or have knowledge of doing your own business.
That's what they was trying to get from me and some cash to me.
You see?
Right, but now you could do all that from the comfort of your home. You could damn lay down in bed and say, well, okay, let me pay my light bill, water bill, phone, internet, whatever.
Right?
Right home, stretch off in your bed. You ain't have to leave the house.
Or pay for your bill, pay a bill from another country.
From another country, right? You see, on the top of that too, when you take that ship, okay, they have something called NFT. NFC, right?
Same thing.
And guess what? That comes with every phone. Okay, so how they may have it set up. Okay, I speak as a man when I say this. How they may have it set up, the NFC within your phone. Okay, when you go to pay, right? You just tap that.
Synchronize with your thing.
You see? All right. Read them.
Back in the article it says bills can also be paid online or using mobile apps without visiting the bank or utility company.
You see that? Same thing we just talking about. Same thing.
Done.
All right.
The industry must continue the journey to meet our customers in spaces which they find convenient.
Which they find convenient.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about, God. Okay. Revelation 13, 16, 17. Yeah, that's it.
Revelation chapter 13 and 16.
God.
Yeah, and this is the book of Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
God.
With that ties right back in the commerce. He's in.
Right.
Trade.
Trade.
All right, and you know, you take that. You know.
Judgment.
Right. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and its image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstones in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
God.
All right, that's what we talked about a little earlier. Speak about all that damn cooked meat for the buzzard.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. All right, so all those damn soldiers, okay, you join in Esau army. Before you even enroll in that, you got to have that.
You know that.
All right.
You know that.
It's Revelation 16 and 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your way and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. What do you think that's talking about? For everyone who damn, you know, like the brothers say, start to do magic, man. You know? Yeah. Right. Yeah, man, Lord willing, these lessons edifying, and serve with purpose. Take from it what you need.
Yeah, man, I want to get in a brief lesson not too long to the spirit and power.
Yeah.
We all but me outside. My lesson entitled, there's gonna be a great cry soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From these people. You know what I mean? Because we here on this side of the world, right? Alright, people think because that we see what's going on in other countries, we shouldn't be moved or worried about it. Alright? And guess what? In order to know how things affect us, we have to look at things globally. Okay? Because the supply chain is already broken. And there's a lot of things that will affect this economy as we see it now and in time to come.
God.
Alright? Because guess what? Like we've been telling you, inflation ain't going nowhere and it's here to stay. Okay? And some very dark days are ahead, like the PM said. Alright? He used the term, you gotta be frugal. Alright? What that word going on too? It made him be cautious how you spend your money. Alright, and a lot of people, they ain't care. They living a good life. You understand? They still living good. Because they ain't experience hard economic hardship like that. We ain't fully experienced that over here yet. Like how what's happening over there in the UK. I'm gonna get a couple of articles to show you they're going through serious economic hardships. You know what I mean? Alright? And guess what? Because guess what? You ain't seen nothing yet. Alright, people crying over here, worrying over electricity. Nah, that's the current going off a couple hours. People crying.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That's the current going off a couple hours. They crying. But guess what? It's going to get a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
Because food prices is going to continue to increase.
Yeah.
Due to inflation. Alright, you have something to say, bro? Alright, and gas prices won't be stable. Alright, because you get a petroleum dealer say, man, they ain't gonna be affected for a little while, you know what I mean, with the gas prices and shit. But inflation ain't going nowhere, so what do you think can happen?
I said, and inflation is in what, 5%, and it's climbing.
God,
Alright, is everything damn going up.
that's it.
Rent, light bill.
You pay, yeah.
No, right? So I see they you got it, but you pay. Yeah, man, and the minimum wage is what, $2.25 now, and they going back to Parliament, and trying to get a little bit more.
Right.
So now, when that happens, now these business owners now they get cry. You see what I said? Oh, they can't afford to pay their wages.
Yeah.
See what I said? So therefore, like the brother said, they can have to jack up the prices.
Got. And then on top of that too, with the minimum wage going up, the gas stations, okay, they're gonna have to be forced to let some of them pump attendants go. Okay, next thing you know, you gotta be pumping your own gas.
That's it.
You see? I mean, over there in Babylon, they was ever doing that. You see? But over here in the Bahamas, you don't have no pump attendants to them, boy. Because the gas station they done is basically make their monies from in store. You see?
So, yeah, man, gas prices won't be stable the way people think it's going to be. Alright, because we see what's happening, over there in the UK. Alright, and some of what they're experiencing are coming here. Alright, coming to a city near you. Alright, so it's not going to get any better the way how these people think. Okay, but I'm going to show you in an article what we have as a luxury now, this commodity, water, whereby, you pay it every 3 months, right? Other countries like the UK, with water shortage and shit, because mostly how it is over in our country, you know what I mean? They gotta top up their meter, gas and electric, you know what I mean? You do the heater for the house and all kind of shit. We ain't gotta go through all that now, you know what I mean? But they catching pure hell right now with the thingam over there. with the energy prices over there. You know what I mean? Inflation killing them bad with soaring prices of food and all kind of shit they experiencing right now. You understand? So they guarantee pure hell right now. You know, families only afford to afford to bathe one time a week.
God, God, I think I saw the article where I think they had to spend, I think, 2 point something pounds to use a certain amount of water or something to that effect.
Right. Yeah, boy. I can show you this article, right? You know what I mean? Because we get it over luxury. Like the brother lesson must be a year. I think it's a year back saying water's a luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Powerful lesson, you know. Now we seeing it, you know what I mean, in other countries. So it ain't reached here yet, you know. It ain't reached here yet. But it's coming. You know what I mean? Are you getting the article, brother?
It says here, UK family forced to shower once a week to reduce energy bill. You saw ever been nasty?
You saw just in one bed,
Yeah,
man.
that's the excuse. Slovakia. UK.
You saw just in one the bed. You know?
And he's not natural out with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Slovakia also, and you know, inflation right now, I think over there it's like 10.1%. It's supposed to go up to 13 before this year out. And they say by next year it should be 22%. So it gets pure hell over there, man. You know, brother?
It says UK family forced to shower once a week to reduce energy bill. Living standards in UK are currently toughest in 40 years. To manage the expenses and reduce energy bills, family eats limited food.
Right.
Woman shares that family was going through depression because of circumstances.
Right.
A family in the UK has been forced to bathe only once a week in an attempt to save on their energy bill. The living standards in the UK are currently the toughest in 40 years due to rising inflation, the Ukraine war, as expected, and increased food costs. Atman family from southwest London says that the cost of living after a pandemic has made life extremely difficult.
Gone. Read it again, brother.
Atman family from southwest London says that the cost of living after the pandemic has made life extremely difficult.
Exactly, right. If you could read that again, that paragraph,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna make a statement.
Right, go ahead.
That's what it is now.
No, that one up.
The Atman family from southwest London says that the cost of living after the pandemic has made life extremely difficult.
You don't even bother with the water.
Oh. What's the bathe once a week?
Yeah, that paragraph.
A family in the UK has been forced to bathe only once a week in an attempt to save on their energy bill. The living standards in the UK are currently the toughest in 40 years due to rising inflation, the Ukraine war, and increased food costs. The Atman family from southwest London says that the cost of living after the pandemic has made life extremely difficult, and living standards in the UK are currently the toughest in 40 years. To manage their expenses and reduce energy bills, family eats limited food.
Right. And that's prophecy right there.
Exactly.
See what I said? Eat limited food and they didn't say nothing but drinking water. All right.
That's to reduce energy bills, eats limited food, and the woman shares that family was going through depression because of circumstances.
Right, check this out, right? That's prophecy, right? This Ezekiel 4 and 16. It says, moreover he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight.
Right?
You see that? So they gotta watch how they eating.
Right?
You see that? All right. And with care, and they shall drink water by measure, with astonishment.
God.
All right. So man, flip. If they taking the bath once a day or once a week, you understand? You could imagine how they drinking water.
You know?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Exactly.
So that's a luxury.
God.
You understand, man? Right here in the same location we speak about. You know, when you cook going back in the pot for seconds and all that, they can't do that.
God.
You understand?
Yeah.
They can't do that.
Salt water for dinner and sugar water for dessert.
You know? I'm thinking about how the scriptures say with drink water by measure. So you can imagine you just have a what size is 1 liter?
Yeah.
1 liter of water. Okay. and you being the head of the house, you can mark that line where you say, look here,
It's for you.
this for you. You can just mark that the whole ball would be marked up.
So they can't just be all hell because how do you get a heat wave with this?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, drink water with syringe.
You know?
Put it up on the bottle.
Yeah.
You got a shot. The water become a shot.
Right. Yeah, hold on now. I want you to look up something for me, right? Get this quick scripture in Revelation, the sixth chapter. You start verse 5. Oh, yeah, the strong people. Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6. You ready?
Verse 5, right.
Verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Done. And that black horse represents, dark times. You know what I mean? Because that's what's upon this earth right now. So, these people out here, they ain't feel nothing yet on this side. You know what I mean? When things happen over in other countries, they still living good. Like the scriptures say, which I'm going to get in a second, there's this victuous sheep upon earth, right? Read verse 6.
God is here, brother.
Verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts, saying, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou take not the oil and the wine.
God. When we go into this word measure to show you what the brother was saying, that's not out of what the brother was saying. Look up the word measure, brother.
Measure goes back to the word koinits. Koinits. A koinit, or a dry measure containing 4 quarterly or 2 sitari, which meaning a quarterly is less than a quart, and 2 sitari is equal to 1 liter, or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for a day.
You see that? Good on, brother.
A kynix, a certain dry measure.
Read about it,
Yeah. Or as much as would support a man of moderate appetite for a day.
As much as support a man for appetite for a day.
Yeah, a man of moderate appetite for
Moderate
a day.
appetite.
That means a man who won't eat that much.
Right. So your food, these people's food is being rationed, man. You know what I mean?
Done in the small portions.
God. So what you want you to eat, you can't eat no more. All right. Let's get this other article, brother. Let's get the other article where I show you. To show you how bad it is in the UK.
So you drop down low.
Yeah.
So you understand? You can afford to take it down.
Yeah, that one right there. Let me show how bad it is in the UK, and before we get that right, get second Ezra 16 and 21, brother. Because these people out here, they in a good state right now. They feel good. They feel this gas price is going down. I go into the gas station earlier, and the price of fuel right now is like $6.08. You know what I mean? So they feel good now, right? The second Ezra 16.
Done. This is second.
Chapter 16, verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. God, and victuals is food. So right now you could afford to go in the shop and purchase some items reasonable, or go to a fast food place and get it cheap. But guess what? That's gonna change very soon. Alright? You think you're in a good state, right? But guess what? What's still growing? Read that again, brother. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap to be in good. Sorry. Behold, victuals shall be so good, cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves grow upon earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion. God, because that's what's still growing on earth. These plagues, they intensifying. These plagues from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They still growing, they still intensifying. You know what I mean? Read the article over, brother.
It says here, soaring energy bills mean Plymouth people can't afford to take a bath or cook meals.
Right. Now listen to these people complain what they going through. What we have for luxury right now, these people going through pure hell. You know what I mean? Go ahead, brother.
It says here, with the energy cap likely to rise to 2,800 pounds, that's like $3,200 in our currency.
Right.
This year, families are already struggling, says Plymouth Energy Company. Energy bills are expected to rise by another 800 pounds on average in October. Plymouth residents say they can't afford to put their heating on, it'll be a cold winter, take a bath, you stink, watch TV, be bored, or even use their cookers because of the soaring cost of energy. They can starve. And the situation is likely to get worse, with the energy regulator warning bills could rise to about 2,800 pounds in October.
God. So you see right
Last
now,
quarter of the year.
God. So you see right now, inflation is hitting them hard. You know what I mean? I think I think it's the article is going to state it like around April.
Yeah.
You know, the energy cap is like,
Yeah.
okay, God, go ahead.
It says Plymouth Energy Company, the organization pushing for an affordable zero carbon energy system.
So lock here, right? And you're going to see the more they use, the more they have to spend. Go on, brother.
Said it received a 400% increase in inquiries, and that was before the price cap rose by 54% in April 2022. And now Ofgem's chief executive, Jonathan Brearley, has told MPs on the Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy Committee that an increase in the cap this autumn would push up the average annual bill by more than 800 pounds. After the regulator Ofgem increased it by 693 pounds in April to 1,971 pounds.
You see the price going up?
Says the price cap is a maximum amount that can be charged for electricity and gas standing charges a unit or kilowatt rates. Gemma Knowles of Plymouth Energy Company said if you use more, then you will pay more.
That's it. You see that? So over here, we have us about you, right? If our electricity hike, we could go on for months and months. Sometimes they give us PPL give us a break without turning it off. But they have the exactly. But they have the top of their meters is totally different, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how it is over there. You understand? So they get catching pure hell every time they take a hot shower. You know that bill.
So they have to pay before they use their light?
Yeah, they have to top it up right.
So instead of you having a bill, they can't have a bill with them. They have to have a credit with them.
Exactly. Right.
So if let's say you put a credit of let's say $400 on the bill, right? If you don't use that, you're gonna have to pay that same $400 again the next month. So even if you don't use it, you forfeit it. That's bullshit.
Yeah, man. So they have to top up. They have to top up their meter. You know what I mean? In order to get the power on. You understand what I'm saying? You know, so they catching pure hell right now as it is. You know what I mean? Okay. There's another article I want you to bring. But before you bring that, you know, brother. You know what I mean? This was happening over there in the UK. You know what I mean? And you know, we all need water. You know, and water is one of the chief things, you know, for man's use. So let's get us Rock 29, 21.
Gone to lock you right. Yes, like you say, Rod, over what's going on over there in England. They have to top up. They have to top up their light bill, their water bill too. They have to top up.
Well, but they have to top up for gas and electric. I think the water comes different, but you know, like they have to use heated. They like hot showers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember seeing a post where they say they pay two point something.
Yeah, $2.50. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
To use hot water. You see, so we really have a luxury over here in the Bahamas, whereas we don't have to top up light bill. You see? We don't talk too fast. Exactly. Because plenty people wouldn't be taking a shower.
That's what I'm saying.
Shower, you wouldn't have no light inside the country.
You know what I mean?
They have to top up for everything.
Yeah, but I mean, we still, you know, we still in a better situation, and then that's why we're jumping the water. We have well field.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Until the Mosai dry them up. Yeah. You know. But yeah, man, like the brother say, we catch it out of the bar, right?
Yeah.
October, that's the fourth quarter this time. Water, boy.
Yeah, man. So you gotta get them. Some of them residents over there, they going through pure hell right now. But hell with them, they down meetings anyhow.
That's it.
You don't care about them. But we just trying to say it's coming here also. You know what I mean? Some of the things with the experiences coming over here. All right, because you had some the pub owners, like how we get the bar, they call it the pub. You had their energy, their bills at the end of the month. It start off from over 13,000 pounds up to now over 35,000 pounds. So what's that equivalent to in our money now? You know what I mean? 35,000 pounds. You understand?
Because they just sound like they had to close down.
They had to close down. That's what I'm
That's it.
saying. All right, they had to close down. So you know, guess what? Our people ain't feel nothing over here yet. You know what I mean? They ain't going through nothing yet. Okay? No. Get that article. There's another article I want to bring out, right?
Says here.
But Salaki, before I bring it out, let's get the basic use of mass, like the scripture say. Sirach 29:21, brother.
Book of Sirach 29 and 21. The chief thing for life is water, and bread, and clothing, and house to cover shame.
God, and you could imagine that people only bathing once a week. Boy, you know they must be funky. Alright, so you know water is a commodity we use every day. We have it at our advantage. It's a luxury, like the brother said, you know what I mean, a year ago we did a lesson. But over there, family only get afford to shower once a week, you know, due to soaring energy bills. And with UK citizens, they need it to be top off gas and electric. With the soaring costs, you know, some of these families can't afford it. They just can't afford it. As far as we don't have to go through that process. We have, like I said earlier, we have high electricity bills, and sometimes we can't afford it. You know, sometimes we don't get turned off. You know, my electricity bill, I get turned off yet. Yeah. It's totally different. You know what I mean? But I say we ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? Listen to the complaint these people are going through. Let's get the article, brother.
It says here. Desperate families fare the worst as energy and food costs soars. It says here. Readers on the soul-destroying decisions that people are facing trying to keep their families fed and warm while the government remains invisible in this national crisis.
Is the government made invisible?
Yeah.
What do you want them to do? Go ahead, brother.
I am writing this while panicking about how I am going to afford winter. Never mind Christmas. Nearly a quarter of UK adults plan to keep heating off this winter. Oh, you got plenty debts. Hold thanks to 29th of August. You see how they're using the heat. You see, causing the clots, right?
That,
So suddenly the cold has caused the clots too.
you know that?
I have 3 disabled children and a husband with serious mental health issues, and our expenses are going up and up.
She get all kind of problems. Go ahead, brother.
I wake up each morning filled with a sixth sense of doom about what the outlook is going to be. They start getting really suicidal.
Yeah.
I cannot afford to take out a loan to cover costs as we would not be able to afford the repayments. We cannot say we will keep the heating off as we cannot allow our children to get cold due to their disabilities. Just how are we supposed to make ends meet?
God. So you see that? That's how we're supposed to make ends meet. So these families, they're looking for a way out. You know what I mean? This high soaring energy bills, they don't know what to do. You know what I mean? All right. They don't know what to do. Okay. But what the scripture say? One of your brothers get second Ezra 16 and thing up. All these, like Yahweh Shai say, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right?
Book of 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse
Chapter 16.
Book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 50.
Second Ezra 16. 16.
book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evil, what shall I do when these evils shall come?
What could you do? You know what I mean? We preparing our minds spiritually because we know these times is coming. But these people, they know what's going on, you know what I mean? And like I said, they heathens. We don't care about these devils. But the things, certain things what they experience it, they coming over, experiencing it coming over here. Alright?
But what shall I do when these evils come?
Bad times.
Not being prepared is Pastor Paul John ain't telling you but on the TV.
No, if I suppose you them on another level, but they on some different shit.
As far as they're concerned, they protect it and they make
Man, they already saved.
and they save, right?
They bless and highly favored.
That's it.
They already saved, but still looking for salvation.
That's some shit, eh?
You know?
You don't know how to good with.
So I say the government is in a self-induced coma, detached from reality and ignoring the desperate pleas for help. What the government gonna do?
That's it.
How many of them are going to have to worry about heating their house or feeding their children? I try to keep a brave face for my children and my husband, but inside I am filled with an ever-increasing sense of dread. Am I going to be faced with having to tell my 3-year-old that Santa just can't afford it this year? That's not a good listen.
Sorry, you coming this year.
Sound of a vacation.
They're supposed to be dealing with Santa anyhow.
You know?
That's why they in that problem.
That's it.
How I can break his little heart like that and see the devastation on my children's faces on Christmas morning when they think Santa didn't care. It is a soul-destroying thought that children all over the UK are going to face this situation.
What?
Well, it coming. The scripture say, what should I do when these evils should come? Bad times.
Yeah. You worry, but Santa, let me tell you something. When I was a little boy, I used to put out milk and cookies waiting on Santa. You know what happened? They spoiled.
That's it.
They spoiled waiting on Santa. You understand? So I get you it. They could get you.
You know? Yeah.
Milk and cookie dog and shit with Santa. But they spoiled waiting on Santa, boy.
Yes.
God. But let me get a quick precept. You say, we not last line with the children again? Because all this is going to lead to famine, you know what I mean? Because this is not going to stop, you know what I mean? It's going to get worse, like they indicated that inflation is going to rise to 22% like next year. You can imagine the state of that country? Oh man,
It says it
in
is
a recession.
it is a soul-destroying thought that children all over the UK are going to face this situation.
God, your children, I can show you right now what's going on, what's going to come. Get our 2nd Ezra 15 and 58, brother.
And then you get a directive from the IMF bank, you know, see, then say, 2023 is going to be far worse than 2020, than 2021. So you think it bad now, it's only going to get worse, so a great cry is coming.
Okay. Read verse 2nd Ezra 15 and 57, brother.
Book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15, 57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fail through the sword. Thy cities shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field.
God, thy children shall die of hunger. Because that's what's also be coming to that place. You know what I mean? And thou shalt fall too by the sword. Alright? You see the state the mother of Babylon going through? Alright? They ain't see, we ain't see nothing over here. But it's only gonna get worse over there. From this point forward. You know what I mean? You know, I want to hear one more the complaints from the people what they going through before we close that article, brother.
Alright, it says, I am 83 and live alone. My house is double glazed and has cavity wall insulation. The loft is insulated. I have already turned down the thermostat by 1 degree and noticed the reduced comfort. I do not heat 2 of the 3 bedrooms. I will turn off the radiators in the hall and kitchen. I will use the microwave where possible instead of the oven. When the touch on that real quick. And there was somebody posted an article where you know you have those automatically controlled thermostats that they actually got locked out of changing what the thermostat temperature could be. You never seen that article? So if you used to have your thermostat at 70 degrees and you wanted to get a little cooler, they have it locked to either 71 or 73. So you can't even get it cool if you want to. And that's the problem of using these so-called smart devices now. You ain't in control of them. They only let you think you're in control.
Right.
That's what UK operators, smart meters.
When the washing can be dried outside, I will drape it on a dryer in the living room instead of using the tumble dryer. I do not leave electrical equipment on standby. I shower and haven't used a bath for years. I have a water barrel, not much rainwater in it at the moment. I'm too wobbly to safely carry dishwater out to the garden. I pay utility bills by direct debit.
There's another one I wanted to get.
I have several warm garments and scarves that I can wear when I'm cold and a couple of fleece blankets. I'm thinking of buying a couple of roll neck sweaters. I have a hot water bottle. What else should I do to survive this winter?
God. What else should you do? You drown in snow. Okay? But yeah, man, pretty much, you know, this inflation is a plague from Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, and these is not gonna stop. These is not gonna stop. You know what I mean? It's gonna continue on this side. You know, you're gonna continue to see high food prices. You know what I mean? Over in this country, as the Prime Minister said, man, you gotta be frugal. You know, the dark times ahead. Okay. All right. This inflation, like I say, this inflation from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Our brother could get a second Ezra 16 and 37.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
Right. The plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So the Most High ain't playing with these plagues because with this inflation, it's eating over this economy from the inside. That's what's happening over there in the UK. You know what I mean? Okay. Get the next voice, brother. Verse 38.
As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Read on, brother.
Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall moan, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Right. The world should mourn. Alright? It's going to get worse than how you're seeing it now. You know what I mean? There's just something over there. What's happening over there in the UK? You know what I mean? What they're experiencing, that's just a small glimpse of what's coming over there. Alright? And it's going to get a whole lot bad, a whole lot worse also. Alright? And the world is mourning because you got a lot of shit happening and sorrows happening on every side. Okay? Alright? And people feeling these birth pains, but alright? You come in here also, I keep on saying, you get countries getting bombarded with inflations, water droughts, food shortages, and all kind of shit. Alright, these people crying every time the power goes off. You won't see nothing yet. So yeah, man, you won't see nothing yet.
What?
Great cry coming soon.
Okay. I got a brief lesson. You know, we switch it up a little bit, you know. And the title of this lesson is, you know, there's an increase in adultery and domestic violence cases, you know, since this whole pandemic happened. It's basically a pandemic within a pandemic, you see? Because amidst the whole C19 fiasco, you know, there was an increase in domestic violence inside the homes. And usually when a lot of people think about domestic violence, they think of when a man commits, you know, physical harm to a woman. But when you think about it, a lot of those times, who the initiator is? The woman tends to be the initiator, you see? And a lot of times too, when it comes down to domestic violence, a lot of times when a woman does it to a man, you know, it's not reported. You see? There has been a significant increase in these cases due to lockdown restrictions and an increase in adultery cases since the lockdown has been lifted. You see? And when you think about it, the reason being the systematic society has successfully torn apart the social construct of the family home. You know, when you think about it, during these lockdowns, when it was the lockdowns, husbands and wives were forced to be in each other's space, right? Now, when you think about that, normally there shouldn't be an issue at all, you know. But because of the society what we live in and not being able to direct their attention to others, they start realizing that the love they shared was superficial. You see, especially coupled with kids. With the kids being home and not at school, along with unemployment, is completely, drove some households to being pretty much executed. Because when you think about it, right, pre-lockdown, inside some households, a man and woman married. When he reach home, he and he phone. When she reach home, she and her phone. Throughout the day, he'd awake. Throughout the day, she'd awake. So they barely spend any time within each other's presence. But during the lockdowns, they were forced to interact with each other. They were forced to be inside each other's presence, and that's when they slowly started realizing, that's what I get myself into, right?
Done.
When you further look into it, you have adulterous women out there. They wasn't able to go see their sweetheart. The man wasn't able to go see his next woman, and because of that, when they finally get released out there, adultery skyrocketed, right? Run. Let me get Luke chapter 12, verse 51. You see, because right now, this whole lockdown situation, it was all planned. And not only just to break down the social construct of the economy, meaning our finances, it was also a plan to tear apart the family household, the family structure. You see? That's why I say it was a pandemic within a pandemic. Read verse 51 to 53.
Luke 12 and 51. Suppose ye that I am come to send peace on earth. I tell you no, but rather division. For from henceforth there should be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father.
God, Salakia. The Moses said he's coming to send division. You see? Houses will be torn apart. You'll have the father against the mother against the children against the mother. A house divided, and a house divided, like I brought earlier, a house divided cannot stand. We know that's talking about Edom on Edom, but the scriptures can go manifold. You see?
The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Yeah. Gone. And again, the Most High visiting this place. That's how we know we in these times now. The Most High visiting this place and bringing division in the households. And the reason how come a lot of households fall apart is because, the Most High wasn't in them. You see? And you have the man may be following the Lord, but the woman ain't. The woman may be following the Lord, but the man ain't. And, the scripture says, can two walk together lest they be agreed? And eventually, that same woman will don't follow in the man's footsteps who in the truth. When shit really started to get tight, when shit really started to get, heavy, while the man calling on Yahweh Shem Shai, she calling on a false god. And that can cause a ripple within inside the household. You see? And the scriptures say, if she go not the way you would have her, give her a bill of divorcement and let her go. Right? Now, when we look at this, right, the Most High inside a lot of these households, but how people tend to cope with that? Instead of relying on the Most High, they turn to a different spirit, alcohol. Alcohol becomes a coping mechanism for most, you see, which in turn increases the probability of domestic disputes. You would have a household now where the man and woman, they together. And then you will notice you had a slew of household killings, whereas the woman either killed the husband killed the wife and the children, and then kill himself and leave the dog alive. They didn't never kill the dog. But he'd kill his wife, he'd kill his children, then turn around and kill himself. You see? That's why. They through depression, they only get bed once a week. You know, they only eat once a week. There ain't no food to feed the children. It's getting cold. So they don't have no foundation. They don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushai to fall back on, or who's supposed to be on the forefront from the beginning. So they turn to the sword. The only thing Esau really knows what to turn back to. You see? And again, these increasing domestic disputes. You know, this pandemic within a pandemic caused people to see their partners for who they truly are. And a lot of times, they're distractions, and a lot of times there were distractions, but with no distractions, the raw truth was learned. Now that the restrictions were removed, with their newfound knowledge of who their partner is, adultery rears its ugly head. You see? Give me that Mark chapter 3. Mark 23. Mark 3 and 25.
And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
God. If a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Again, when you set a wife at variance with her husband, it's likened unto you separate, that household ain't gonna stand. You see? When you have the house divided, read on. The scripture can break it down.
And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but at an end. No man can enter a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
God, when we remember the household structure of Jake in the past, the household structure was firm. The woman would stay home, the man would go out and work. When he come home, he ain't no nagging. He made a home cooked meal, his children in bed and ready to go to bed. He teach his household what he wanted to teach them. It wasn't no sending your children off to school or nothing like that. They learned what their father taught them. And that was a strong working household. You see? But how did they bind the strong man?
Take him out the house altogether.
Take them out the house altogether. Through their laws. You know, through their so-called, female empowerment. The feminist movement. So they essentially, it wasn't to empower the woman, it was to bind the man of the household. You see? And the binding of a strong man, is when you give the power to the woman.
Right, and like that, you have to destroy people. Single mothers raising girls.
Monsters.
Men, single mothers raising men to be girls, and raising girls to be men.
Be strong and independent when in actuality that ain't their role.
That's what you call the term the Communist Manifesto. That's one of the things, abolition of the family.
Yeah.
So that also inside the Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah.
When it comes down to you set the wife against the husband, you put the wife over the husband. You see, because once woman get that hold on you, once they get that little bit of power over you, you're not getting that power.
That's it. That's Satan ruling over you.
Right. There you go. Yeah. You see? And all this in turn brings turmoil and disrespect in the home. And man, he build a home from the ground up with his bare hands, right? And then happen to bring a woman who didn't have nothing to do with it, marry her, and then if she disrespect him, if he go and divorce her, he lose all of that. But you want me to tell you something? A man would look at that, and just for a piece of money, he'd leave all that.
God.
He'd leave all that. You see? And that's because they give so much power to the lesser vessel. You see? The scripture says, you want the piece of that? The scripture says a house divided cannot stand. And and with that liberty given now, she going to do what she pleases. Now that she could get away with inside the household, now she got that liberty now. She got liberty to move around. The law on her side, a man can't tell her shit, so what you think she can do? She can spoil herself. Guess the Rock chapter 25.
That's exactly before you get that, because you speak about adultery. And the scriptures tell us how to deal with that. This is Deuteronomy 22 and 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to one husband, then they both of them shall die.
Gone.
Both the man and the woman, right? And the woman shall thou put away from evil. Salakia. So shall thou put away evil from Israel.
Gone.
That's why he's supposed to kill them off.
Gone.
So that other people would see that and fear to stay away from that.
We can go to that. Okay.
That's the law that we got to go back to.
Done. But we can go back, at least when we get our kingdom, there ain't gonna be none of that anyhow, because we don't have the laws in us.
So like when you really look at it too, okay, when a man go and lie with another man's wife, okay, that's like he lying with that man. And that's how Yahweh Shem Yahushai sees that. And that's an evil thing, that's an abomination. And their blood should be upon their head.
That's it. Man lies with man.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 25 verse 25. Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guide abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go.
Done. And we know, it says if she would not go, you would have her cut her off and give her a bill of divorcement. Or, if she go there and commit adultery, you don't never supposed to take her back. Because why? That bringing confusion, right? Over here alone, on this, not even in this country, on this island alone, there are countless cases of men sleeping with other men's wives. You see? And what's even worse, right? What's even hurtful about it, a lot of times, it'll be the people who you least expect.
Yeah.
And that's a dreadful thing in the eyes of the Lord.
Salakia. And they like to say, oh, they're married.
See, but we know what marriage is according to the scripture.
Yeah.
That's what they like to say.
And that's why Hosea 4 and 6 tells you, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You see, in their mind, marriage is based on what Esau says marriage is.
Yeah.
You see? But how could you even condone that marriage? How you can even rate that marriage when as the same pastor would marry a man and a woman, marrying a man and a man. or a woman and a woman.
Yeah.
You see? How you even can rate that marriage? Because at the end of and who they married in the name of? So again, you bring in further division. You see, because if you was to go have a wedding right now, right, and you had to, and you just have to get the pastor to do it, and the pastor called that name, but you'd be freaking mad. You be mad. You see? I don't want to hear that name. You see what I'm saying? But if I tell the pastor, but I don't get married in this name. But in the eyes of the Lord, well, that marriage ain't no good because that ain't in the name what it's supposed to be in, right?
Yeah.
You see how messed up the society is?
Not only that, you have three parties involved.
God, the man, the woman, and the government.
Yeah, that's true.
The Lord ain't inside these marriages no more.
This is Sirach 26 and 10. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Freedom to do whatever she had run the road. Like how they say, road. Just road. You understand? That time and the road they talking about is the carousel.
They have a new talk now, body count.
Damn right.
But like the God brought out earlier, he brought out the judgment for that, right? Let's hear what Leviticus have to say. Leviticus 20 and 10.
Leviticus 20 and 10. And the man that committed adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and adulteress shall surely be put to death.
The adulterer and adulteress shall what?
Surely be put to death.
Shall surely be put to death, right? Now watch this. Because of the society what we in, because of this wicked society we in, if we was to execute that judgment, right? If that judgment was to be carried out, right? What that mean?
Oh, we like that being wicked, man.
Yeah,
Wicked
you get locked
and
up.
jealous. You get locked up.
You see? If you come home and you meet a man rodding out your wife, and you turn around, you kill him, and you kill her, and then you call the police and tell them, say, boy, they's committing adultery in the home. What? You getting locked up. So how it is, you have me, when they go to court, So nowadays you can send me to court, have me swear on the Bible what tell me what I did was righteous, and still send me to friggin' jail. That don't make no sense. Exactly. You see that?
Right, Proverbs 6 and 32. But whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyed his own soul.
See that? Destroyed your own soul. Because at the end of the day, when you fall upon them harlots, when you fall upon that shit, you need to find yourself in problems. Right?
Sirach 9 and 2. Give not thy soul unto woman to set her foot upon thy substance.
God, to set her foot upon thy substance. You know, don't give her opportunity to have rulership over you, but you know that.
Verse 3. Meet not with an harlot, lest thou fall into her snares.
God, and we know ultimately those snares are the snares of death. You see?
Yeah, right.
You know.
A wicked mind, but he's thinking all kind of shit, because Solomon already run the test in Ecclesiastes 7.
God.
And that's all these women is around here. The scripture say that wife should be a harlot in the street.
You know that.
It says, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts.
God, and when it says here, company of a woman that is a singer, man, she got sweet words. She come to you, she whisper in your ear, she tell you a couple sweet things like, or she got a boyfriend, but they ain't nothing serious, they on bad terms. You see what they saying? She come to you, telling you all manner of sweet things to get you into that snare. And then when you go home, when you go behind her, because now you lack wisdom, you go behind her, you're going to ring her out, and just at the same time, my husband come inside the house. Now what? He's a dead man.
That's it.
You see how that snare cost you death?
That's it. Ecclesiastes 7 and 26. I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart ensnares his net. I mean, her mind. All right? So you can't beat a woman playing mind games.
No.
Right? All right? Her hands as bands. They trap you. God. You see? Whoso pleaseth the Most High shall escape from her. But the sinner shall be taken by her.
God.
You know, that's like what you're saying, because if you go home without, you know, and you sleep without what's not that, you get busted now. That's it. Let the sinner be taken by her.
God. This is our Proverbs 5 and 3.
That's a lack of understanding.
God.
Okay, but the brother mentioned how a lot of them have butter on their tongue. Okay, will tell you something sweet and this and that, tell you something what you want to hear. Okay, and you fall for it. Okay, you get trapped. Okay. Proverbs 5 and 3. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But her end is bitter as wormwood.
Yeah.
Sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her step take hold on hell. You see that?
That's it. Because even though that look good, you know, I look good on the outside, but the inside, the scriptures say what? It's full of dead man bones. You know, and that could be what? Loaded with all kind of damn sicknesses. You know, and guess what? Sickness come in the finest set of things.
You know that?
What is that?
As we say,
Trojan horse.
you know that? As we say, that's a Barry.
Sirach 9 and 5. Gaze not on the maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance.
God, giving up your kingdom to fall in love with the concubine. You see, or giving up your kingdom to fall in love with a harlot. You see, you have to be mindful of these things. You see, what a piece of it was now.
This is Ecclesiastes 19 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become impudent.
God, read that again from Mark.
Sirach chapter 19 verse 2. Wine and women will make men of understanding to fall away, and he that cleaveth to harlots will become
God, impudent, ineffective, worthless. You see, when you're clinging on to the harlot, when you're clinging on to that hairy bike, you become the nothing. You see, wine and woman. And they go on and on. Because the scripture tell you, sit not at the wine with a woman. Because you hitting two, you hitting a woman and you hitting wine, that's you looking for problems.
Yeah.
You see, especially another man or woman.
Yeah.
You see?
Sirach 36 and 22.
26.
26.
Yeah, 26 and 22.
Sirach 26 and 22, it reads, a harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband.
A married woman shall be counted as spittle.
Spit.
You see, a harlot shall be counted as spittle. Salakia. They ain't worth nothing. You see, but when you got a woman, a married woman, a woman of your own who fears Yahweh Shem Yahushai as you do, who into what you dealing with, read the precept up.
But a married woman is a tower against death.
A tower against that. You see, read on.
To her husband.
That's 23.
A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that fear the Lord.
God. And that's pretty much explains itself. You see? I got one more precept here.
God. This is Amos 7 and 17. Therefore, thus said Yahweh, thy wife shall be an harlot in the city, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of his land.
God. What we want to focus on there is that wife shall be a harlot in the streets. And again, in this land what we in, that's plentiful here. You see? You would be the best man to this woman. She'd go there and do what she gotta do. And that happens to a lot of men. And when the man trip out and friggin' kill her, then he's the bad guy. It goes right back to the domestic dispute issue, right? All inside that household, he been getting verbal abuse. All inside that household, he maybe even been getting physical abuse from that woman. Never hit her once, All this carrying on. He taking that, he tanking that, right? And then she pull the last straw, go on over there, give it to another man. When he trip her and kill her, he's the bad guy. They just forget. They don't even ask him about all what's going on. All of this, all of that. They don't even care about that. As far as they're concerned, the law Esau sides with the woman automatically. The law and Esau go hand in hand in the law of this land.
Yeah.
You see? And
basically what this kingdom thrives on, because the Statue of Liberty, okay? That's what America and all their system is based on, okay? Womanism or feminism and giving power and strength to women, and that's why the court system, okay, and the law, especially the Israelite man in particular, okay, the 80% of them are in jail, okay, 80% of them are taken out of the home, okay, so the homes are run by these women, all right, and all this costs, like you say, that costs the children to the air, okay, to end up either criminals or homosexuals, okay.
And that's like you said, the statue of liberty. And the scripture says, give the woman liberty to God abroad. But the statue of liberty showing you, hey, go do what you want. You see? And all these things, all these precepts that we brought out, all this information that we brought out, are examples for our learning. You see? And we as men can only commit adultery if we give into the temptation. You see? Remember James 1 and 13 say, for the Most High tempted no man with evil, neither the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man. For every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. You see? If you don't give into those sweet talks, you won't get fall into the temptation. If you be a man of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, if you be a man, you won't give into that. You see? And being a man of wisdom and understanding, you ain't gonna let yourself fall into that trap of death. You see? You ain't go there and fool with another man or woman. You see? Your woman ain't gonna go there and fool with another man. You see, don't be like these 2/3 people. Because when it happened to them, either they lose their mind, they start walking the road, they friggin' start doing all manner of it, they turn into alcoholic, they start doing all type of drugs. You see? Don't be like these 2/3 people. You know.
This Sirach 9 and 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction.
God. And all these precepts say the same thing. At the end of the day, you go there, you fuck with another man's wife, death waiting for you. It might not come today, it might not come tomorrow, but it could be waiting on you.
Yeah. All right. One more precept. Proverbs 7 and 7. And beheld among the simple ones, I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. You know, so.
According to the precept, death actually happens. Okay? Because there's physical death and there's spiritual death. Okay? Now, you can have a man being probably taken by the sword or something like that, but in another sense, he or her dies spiritually. Okay? They are cast away from they become profane and cast away from the spirit of the Most High God. Okay? They are committing idolatry. Okay? God's spirit cannot dwell in them. His spirit, okay? So they become a part of the valley of the shadow of death. Okay? They are spiritually dead. They are doomed. They become doomed unto death. Okay? Even though they're still alive, okay? Okay, yes.
Right, you die spiritually first, and then you physically die. That's it. Right. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem, Makakadash, Shalom,